Hello there, welcome back here on Prime Morning. It's time for us to have our big interview here on the show, and we're speaking to Alhaji Mubarick Masawudu. He's actually the NDC parliamentary hopeful at Sawansi constituency, and those of you out there who probably know him, way back in 2019, I'm sure you'd heard about his story about, hoping and praying that he'll be able to take that charge into making sure that he also contributes to his quota to national development. But today, he's here with us to get into that conversation and even more right here on the show. Let me welcome him, and then we'll take it from there. But you can join us on social media. It's Joy Prime TV on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter as well. The hashtag is Prime Morning, and share with us your thoughts on the conversation we're having here on the show. Alhaji, good morning, and how are you doing?
Good morning, KMJ, and good morning to our cherished viewers.
How's the constituency doing?
Asasi is doing great. It's cool, it's calm. And currently we are reorganizing the party.
Okay.
Doing our branch elections and re-registration of members, of party members. And so, yes, so generally it's calm. And we are looking forward to completing that process and hopefully I guess to the stage where other things like you had started would follow.
When you say you're doing re-registration, what basically are you doing in terms of?
Yes, so basically every 4 years, so the party would give the opportunity for people who want to join the party to join, and existing ones to update their records. And then afterwards we do branch elections, so you select people who would man the polling stations within the constituency. Then you climb up to the constituency executives. Then you have the regional elections, and then finally you would have national elections. It is after these elections that the party would then decide on who is the flag bearer of the party, and then eventually also parliamentary candidates for the constituency. So this is the stage we are right now. Yes.
And then how's the reception by the members or the people in the constituency like in terms of, the processes that you're going through? Is it something, a difficult thing doing, or it's easy?
No. There's been so much enthusiasm.
Oh, okay.
So much enthusiasm from the people. We all are in this country, and we all, suffering what is happening in the country, in the economy of the country, and so on and so forth. So you can see some sense of renewed hope in the people, particularly the members of the party. And then also more people are getting interested in the NDC and are joining. So it's very encouraging for the party. What it means is that we're going to have a base that is going to be charged up going into the 2024 elections. And for me, that I think is positive for the party.
Great stuff. Yeah. So, as far back as 2019, you were very hopeful that you were going to be, given the opportunity to serve. A few things came into play, and unfortunately, you were not able to. Your nomination was rejected, both on the constituency level and then on the national level as well. How have you been able to resolve that situation? I know party committee members came through. There were meetings that were held. You were leading the committee's decision and all that. But do you think you were treated fairly in that manner?
Well, I believe that yes, like you had rightly said, leadership of the party got involved. Eventually, the matter was settled, and I have put that matter behind me, and I'm forging ahead. And what I want to do now is to focus on helping the party win power in 2024. When time comes for me for parliamentary candidate elections, and I believe that the base still wants me, and I believe that I can, step in the foot of the incumbent properly and serve in a better way, then certainly I'll take that decision to contest. But
so it's not something you have decided on now?
No.
You don't think that you really want to go back into that again?
No. There are processes, okay? Yeah. Like I said, we are now even at the bottom of the process of selecting branch executives. Yeah. So you don't want to put the cart before the horse, okay? So at this stage, my focus is not about me contesting or anything. That when the time gets there, certainly I'll come out with my intentions. But now what is important for myself and any other person in the party is to work and make sure that when we have abled people manning our polls going into the elections, because that is a problem for some of the constituencies that some of us are aware of, and so on and so forth. So when the time comes, certainly when we get to the bridge, we'll cross
we'll cross it.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
But how's your relationship with the incumbent? Is this very cordial?
No, it is cordial.
Muntaka.
Yes, it is cordial. Post whatever what happened in the 2019 primaries, we sat down. I supported in different ways, both in cash, in logistics, and also I went out to campaign. And if you realize that our vote really soared up because of the unity that was able to be agreed on or worked out between myself and the incumbent. So the relationship has been good. Yes.
The relationship has been good. But, I mean, for those of us out here who probably know about this story, I mean, as far back as 2019, and I've not really heard much about you, how would you describe your period between that time and now, what you've been doing for yourself as a person, as an individual, as a private person, for that matter?
Well, private, I've been working in my private capacity. I'm a family man. I've been focusing on my family. In terms of politics, I believe that you should just make yourself useful to the people you want to lead. And that has been what I've been up to since 2019. How do I continue to impact on the lives of my people? For me, I think it's the strongest message. So it's not about me galvanizing people and trying to convince them that I'm a better alternative, but it's about me showing and leading the way and showing it in practical terms.
But when it comes to that part of politics, to being a better alternative is very important.
Yes, no, exactly.
Do you capitalize on that?
Exactly. So how do you portray that? The way I do that is by practically showing the people, by impacting the lives of people, by bringing opportunities to my constituents. And so for me, that is the best. It's not about me talking. And I'm sitting here confident that people in Asawasi watching me indeed will testify that practically I'm showing that I can step in the foot of the incumbent. Yes.
If you look at the happenings, I mean, right from the beginning, you mentioned that the way things are run right now in the country, a lot of people are looking forward to and being enthusiastic about joining the party and making sure that we move the party to where it's supposed to be. When you listen to them, what are the major things that they think your party will do for them that the current administration is not doing for them?
No, first off, the economy is not doing well. The country is having a lot of debt on its book, and people want prosperity, economic prosperity to be precise. So what I think the NDC can do is to recalibrate, the system, slow down on the public debt, and definitely tackle corruption. And I believe if you look at former President John Dramani Mahama during his tenure, he showed that he wanted to do something about corruption. There were examples as compared to what we are having now. There haven't been any single issue of corruption that has been.
You think the former president did better than the current president?
He definitely did better. People had mentioned during the NDC's tenure that an intention, even the former president acted on intentions. You saw what happened to the deputy communications minister also, then Victoria Hammer.
Yeah,
it was just an intention, but he did act on it. Now, in this current government, you have people committing corrupt practices, and yet still there are evidence, glaring evidence to these
But the AG, the Attorney General, has been coming out to speak about these issues and has actually promised that all these people would be put to where
there is a pretense by this government to be fighting corruption. But
you think the AG is being used for that? The Attorney General is being used for that? Because he's come out severally. I mean, last 2 weeks and a couple of weeks ago, he's come out to speak about corruption and the fact that he's ready to deal with every single person, even in Parliament.
This government has had so far, 6 years? So it's not about being ready. It's about what have you done practically to tackle that. We've had numerous examples of corrupt practices. Currently, there's this issue of the Northern Development Authority, the former CEO of the authority saying that people had forged his signature and had taken monies that they were not supposed to be taking. He was forced to come out because he had made several attempts to draw the attention of the seat of government on these corrupt practices, and no one was listening to him. So there are practical, corrupt acts that are happening with glaring evidence that this government hasn't acted on. So I believe that the people of Ghana are looking forward to an NDC government that, one, will look into all these corruption allegations, and two, would also practically do something about corruption in this country.
Well, what do you make of the just gone by elections by the NPP for the executives? They've put together a strong team that, according to them, would intend breaking the 8. How do you make of that team?
I don't think that breaking the 8 should be a mere rhetoric. Okay, the NDC as a party, I believe, is not perturbed by the crop of the newly elected NPP executives. As executives of the party or officers of the party, what you seek to do is try to market the party. And I feel pity for this crop of NPP executives because they are coming at a time when it will be very, very difficult to market their party, to convince the average Ghanaian.
Well, what do you think is very difficult for them to market the party? You think the president or the current government has done woefully in terms of performance? Terribly
in terms of performance. We have a 19-year high inflation rate. Bank interest rates are hovering around 30%. Your currency has depreciated against the USD this year so far about 25%. Bloomberg has reported at a point that Ghana's cedi is the worst performing currency in Africa. And so all these odds, and if you look at, what is happening in our schools, okay, the feeding issues that our schools are having, the quality issues that professionals in the education industry are raising vis-a-vis the implementation of the free SHS, the cost of living, the cost of fuel, for instance, that the president had promised that when he's come to reduce, has all of a sudden maybe tripled the initial amount that he took over as president. So all of these does not work in the favor of the newly elected executives of the NPP. And what new thing are they going to bring? Some of them have served and continue to serve in this government. So what are they going to tell Ghanaians? That you are part of a rot, that you are part of a system that has superintended corruption and all these waste, and what are you going to tell Ghanaians? So we, the NDC, are not perturbed at all. Like I did indicate to you, we are now focused on reorganizing the party, and we will make sure that at every step of the way, that we are selecting the right crop of people who would be able to inform better on policy directions when the NDC, inshallah, takes over in 2025. So we are not perturbed at all. And my question is, will the current crop of the NPP executives, the leaders, be able to look in the face of the president, be able to look in the face of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the vice president, and say that enough of the rot, enough of the waste, enough of the insecurity situation, and people are not able to voice their concerns anymore, are losing their voice in this country, and it's making the party unpopular. Stalwarts like Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, who have dared, to voice their concerns about how the country is being governed, have been made persona non gratas in the current government or in the NPP. We all were here when we saw what happened to a democratic elected party chairman of the NPP in the name of Paul Afoko. We all have seen that. So with all this background, I'm wondering if the current executives of the NPP will be able to speak truth to power and be able to look into their face and tell them that, see, you are driving the party into a ditch and the country into a ditch, and we need to refocus and reach in direction. I don't see Justin Kodia being able to do that. Neither do I see the. You
think he has a lot of work to do?
There's a lot of work to do, insurmountable work to do. And for us, we don't care about who they are and what they do. What we are focused as a party is what affects the average Ghanaian, the corruption issues, the inflation issues, the depreciation issues, and so on and so forth. They can choose anyone they like. As a party, we are focused.
But with all that you've mentioned, the president still believes that he's done better than former President Mohammed did. No, but he still stands on his grounds.
You are a Ghanaian. Myself, and you live in this country, do you believe in that assertion? So like I said, it's not about mere rhetorics, okay? And speaking, flowery languages. It's not about that. It's about what the Ghanaian on the street is feeling. It's about his state of being. It's about his socioeconomic well-being. And if you look at all these, the indicators does not show that he's doing well, or he has done well more than the NDC administration.
So as far as the NDC is concerned, you're not threatened in any way by the new executives that have been elected?
By no means. We are not threatened at all. Yes, we just focused, and we believe that come 2024, when we go to the polls, Ghanaians would now have carried water, have carried wine, and they know what is heavy. And the former president always said that he believed that he did best, to the best of his knowledge, for Ghanaians. And posterity was going to judge him. But he did add recently that he didn't know the posterity that would judge him will be this soon, you know. So we believe that once we go into the polls, Ghanaians will be able to measure this and be able to give him the mandate. And when he comes, I believe that the man has done roads. He's built schools, he's built roads. He's a visionary. And I believe that when we give him the mandate again, he's going to begin to work to recalibrate. You know, there's a certain change we need in this country in the way we operate, we run. And I believe that when he gets the 4 years, he will be able to do that. In terms of infrastructure, I wouldn't want to talk much because it's clear, it's evident what he has done for this country. Yes.
By virtue of your comments just right now mentioning, it informs the decision that you support the former president coming back again. Now I'm asking because there are other people who also believe that the former president leading the party would not be able to get you the win that you deserve. And so there should be a change for a new person to take over. I'm sure you hear about that conversation.
No, people are entitled to their opinions. We're in a democratic dispensation, and anyone who wants to contest, just like I might at a point want to contest for parliamentary candidature. I mean, anyone can come and contest him. But if you look at the party now, if you test the impulse of the party, and I'm a grassroots person, I started my politics as a branch executive, okay? So if you test the impulse, it doesn't support the notion, this other school of thought that another person would be better off, leading the party will be better off, So for me, in as much as I believe that everyone should be given the opportunity, if they want to contest, I believe that John Mahama is a solid pair of hands that we can put our trust in. As a party and as a country, yes.
Okay, if you just joined us here on the show, this is the big interview, and my guest in the studio is Alhaji Mubarick Masawudu. He's the NDC parliamentary hopeful, and he's a communication member as well for the NDC. Of course, as well as constituency is where he's hoping that eventually when they open up, he'll be able to take that mantle again from the incumbent. And he's very passionate about serving. So I'm excited about the fact that you really see the enthusiasm all these young men bring, whenever you interact with them. And speaking about that, you think that the youth of Ghana really have something that you think when you take over power, I mean, October, you'll be going for your primaries and all of that. When you take over from that moment in 2024, you'll be able to change the narrative of how the youth of Ghana are perceived.
No, most definitely. We have some tried and tested young people, particularly, for instance, in the NDC. We have the likes of like Okujetu Ablakwa, you have Sam George, you have Felix Ofosu-Kwakye. These are all young people. At the time that they served in government, in the erstwhile NDC administration, people said they were young people and they didn't trust that they would be able to lead. But we all saw what the delivery, what they were able to deliver. And today, what some of them are doing for the party and for Ghana, particularly Honorable Okujetu Ablakwa. So I believe that there's something good in the youth of this country, and that if young people are given the opportunity, they will be able to, help Ghana leapfrog, some of the things that we want to work at, because the young person has fresh ideas. There's so much fire in the belly. We want to get results. We want to make a case that we can do it, and also to find our foot on the ground. So I totally believe in youth leadership, and I believe that young people in Ghana should begin to get involved in taking leadership positions, so that, I mean, we can serve, young people are more in this country. The best person to serve the interests of the young person is the youth leader. So I totally have confidence, total confidence in youth leadership.
Okay. Preparation towards the elections, we're good?
Oh yes, oh yes. I mean, towards the elections for what? I mean, like I did tell you.
No, I mean in general. I'm talking about the party in general. Like, you know, like I mean, October will be going, so I'm asking if we're prepared.
Yes, yes, fully prepared. The party, Ashanti region and Eastern region would start their branch elections on the 28th of August. Currently, other regions are doing theirs. So far, the response has been good, has been positive. Yesterday, I was speaking with a friend who is from the Tamale Central constituency, and he was telling me that there were so many people, there was so much enthusiasm. So this is the kind of, you know, hope, you know, that you want your people to have going into an election. And so I think it's positive for the party. Yes.
And finally, we're just about wrapping up, but I want to find out, you think that the current administration has made it very easy for NDC to take up 2024 elections? They've made it very easy for you to just have a cool chop.
I wouldn't say it's a cool chop, okay? I wouldn't say it's a cool chop. I still believe that the NDC will need to work hard towards victory in the polls. But at the same time, the happenings of the day really has made it easy to draw the minds of the people to what the NDC did previously and what is currently happening and what we can do going forward for the country. Yes, you can easily, you know, try to convince people on that. But that said, that doesn't mean that the NDC, we should relax and fold our arms and just believe that we're going to walk into victory. And I mean, aside the fact that, like you had said, that in terms of issues, the NDC might be on the upper hand. In terms of preparation organization, we need to be vigilant. We also what happened in Techiman South, we saw what happened in a number of constituencies that till date we haven't really had clarity on how the resolution of these matters have gone to. So what I would be encouraging the foot soldiers of the party is to continue to be vigilant and going into the elections, even be more vigilant in the processes, yes.
When you're not busy doing politics, what exactly do you do to relax?
To relax, so my hobbies, I go to the gym. I work hard. Yes, I work out.
Okay, so we're mates now.
Yes,
mates of the gym now.
I work out. I like to take long walks and listen to podcasts on these walks and listen to topics of interest. But mostly I'm with people. So even at my spare time, I'm still talking with people because it is by that you can have a better understanding of the needs of people. My background is development management also. So when I'm not doing politics, I'm developing a social intervention projects or I'm monitoring a project elsewhere. So basically that occupies
my time. You love music?
Yes, yes, all genres of music. So long as the tune is good, I like it.
You have a favorite artist here in Ghana? Or it could be elsewhere. I mean, someone you love to listen to.
Well, in Ghana, yes, Sarkodie is one of them.
Okay.
Stoneboy is one of them. Adina is one of them. So, and Miss V. Yes, these are
so you have two ladies and two guys.
Yes, yes.
I see. Right. Great stuff. I mean, I've enjoyed my time with you over here this morning, and we're praying that, you know, things go in your favor. We're hopeful that, you know, you'll be able to also surmount every other challenge. But what would you want to tell the constituency and all the wonderful people in Ghana who are supporting the NDC as well?
Well, I'm encouraging them that they should continue to get involved in the reorganization exercise of the party. I'm encouraging them that more and more competent people, young people to be precise, join the NDC, take up positions at the polling station level. And I'm also telling the Asawasi people that they should continue to urge me on, to encourage me the way they are doing so that I can do better for the betterment of the constituents.
Thank you so much for making time this morning to join us. We're grateful that you're able to join us, and I wish you the very best in the coming elections as well.
Thank you for having me, KMJ.
As always, and that's my guest for the big interview this morning here on the show, and that's Alhaji Mubarick Masawudu. He's the NDC parliamentary hopeful, and he's the member of the communication team as well. And this morning, spending time with us here on Prime Morning. I'm sure you did enjoy that period here on the show. We still have some more coming up. Joy 99.7 FM has got something awesome that is ongoing right now. If you've not heard about it, there's a jingle challenge that is ongoing. We'll share some thoughts on that here on the show. And a bit later, we're going to be jumping into what's trending. There's a conversation about reviving the Ghanaian high life. What have we done about it? Now, Atia is by Episode, who is a reggae dancehall artist. He's been able to gather some attention with that song, which is, of course, a pure high life song. And some entertainers have jumped into that challenge as well. We're going to be talking about that also here on the show. There's more coming up right here. Stay with us.